Hello MMA friends, my name is Brian Nichols. This video is going to be my reaction to UFC 252. It just went down, just completed about literally 2 minutes ago. And damn, what an event. Overall, I think for this event, I'd give it maybe I feel like it was a little top heavy when I originally looked at the card. Let me see. Bring up the card. Yeah, when I looked at it, it was very top heavy in my opinion. But I'd say a lot of the fights delivered. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go over the full fight card. A couple fights I had to miss, so I'll skip over those. But if you don't know the results and you don't know what happened, I recommend going back, either checking the results, checking the fights, coming back and rewatching this. So without further ado, let's get into it. So UFC 252, headlined by Stipe Miocic fighting Daniel Cormier for the third time for the rubber match for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. And we have Stipe Miocic defeating Daniel Cormier after 5 rounds, unanimous decision. I actually scored this 4-1 for Stipe, but what I would say is round 4 was kind of close. So you could almost say 3-2 Stipe. So I gave round 1 to DC, and then I gave round 2, 3, and 4. Excuse me, yeah, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 to Stipe. So only round 1 for DC. DC looked great in round 1. Plus, he stumbled him towards the end up against the cage. But then round 2, Stipe came back and obviously rocked DC up against the cage. And then it was almost like they flip-flopped between round 1 and round 2. And then round 3, DC started slow because, of course, he was rocked. He had to kind of gain his own composure. And Stipe was able to put the pressure on him and kind of keep on him. And I think DC started getting a little bit towards the end, but I don't remember which round was the round that the eye poke happened. It might have been round 3. I might be wrong there. But and then round 4 happened, so I gave round 3 to Stipe, and then round 4 was close. Round 4 was close, and that's the one where I'm like, it could maybe be DC, it could maybe be Stipe, and I heard the judges' scorecards. I want to say one judge gave it 49-46, so 4-1 for Stipe, and I think the other 2 gave it 3-2 for Stipe. So, and then round 5 I gave it to Stipe as well. I felt like if DC would have probably put it on him in round 5, maybe he could have won round 5. He could have made a statement, but after the fight, Daniel Cormier was saying how his left eye was messed up, and yeah, that was a pretty bad eye poke. I know there was obviously the one with Stipe, but Cormier's actually looked like it actually affected him further along in the fight. Who knows how Stipe's eye was after DC's eye poke. But yeah, overall, great fight. I know DC wants to retire after this fight, and even though he didn't win, I still think it's the appropriate route to take. Being over 40, he already wanted to retire as it is, and I think they said he was 41 now. Or was he 41 or is he actually 40? Let me look. Yeah, so now he's 41. He wanted to retire at 40. And so I think that's the route to take, retire. Now, I was telling my buddies, like, I think he'd only come back, because he talked about that as well. He was saying he only wants to fight for titles, and he's not going to get another shot at Stipe. Now, if Ngannou comes out, beats Stipe, maybe. I don't know. I don't think he'd come to fight Ngannou. But I think if John Jones moves up, fights Stipe, and wins, calls out DC, like, you bum or something like that, maybe DC would come back. I think that'd be the only time DC come back. It was that trilogy fight against Jones. Even though it really wouldn't be a rubber match, would you still call it a rubber match? It's their third fight, but it's not 1-1. Either way, the trilogy with Jones, I feel like that'd be the only one that could get DC out of bed. He did great to kind of get himself set for the future. With commentating and all the gigs he's got outside of the cage, he's gonna be set. Don't have any pity for Daniel Cormier. Like, he had a great career. He's got great things ahead of him. He's very well spoken. He's a great guy, from what I know. I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen and studied of him, like, he's a nice dude. He's got a great family and all that. And so my hat's off to him. Such a great career. I mean, he's been, he's done a lot more than a lot of people in this game, and it's not something to look down on. And even though he didn't beat Stipe, it's still such a great career. So it'll suck not seeing Cormier fight anymore because he was such a great fighter. But it's crazy looking back at his career. He's literally only lost to 2 people, Stipe and John Jones. That's it, and that's crazy. So it goes to show how good John Jones is and how good Stipe is. So that's why if John Jones moves up, that would be an insane fight. So, yeah, that's for DC. I look forward to. I love when he commentates. He brings like a light mood to the broadcast. It's just, you can tell he's emotionally invested in the fights, but he's also super laid back and fun to listen to. So, I feel like I have a little bit of a bias for Daniel Cormier because he's such a nice guy. Like, I'm not sitting here hoping he wins, but it would have been nice, of course, to him go off in the sunset with the belt. But not everybody gets that, And even without that, he's such a great guy and such a good competitor and such a great, I feel like definitely he's going to be in the Hall of Fame just down the line, But so that's Daniel Cormier. Then we have now the continued champion Stipe Miocic. Wow. Talk about adjustments. I was talking to my buddies, and I said, the first fight, there was that crazy knockout in round 1, so there wasn't a lot to digest. And then the second round, I feel like DC was winning those first 3 rounds. 4th round, Stipe just hits that body shot. And I think it was either the embeddeds or the countdown. Stipe's coach was saying that Stipe was they didn't tell him going to the 4th round, hey, throw a body shot. Stipe did that. His fight IQ, he hit that and saw that it affected Daniel Cormier in that way and did that himself. Him being able to make that adjustment in the 4th round after losing, in my opinion, the first 3 rounds, that's crazy. And to be able to make that championship adjustment, that's insane. So that's why I'm saying a fight with Jones would be fucking crazy. But, again, that's what I was telling my buddies was coming in this fight, DC and AKA had to make changes in order to stop the body shots, which I don't feel like there was as much as there were in round 4 in this whole fight. But Stipe even made even more adjustments than that second fight. The whole grabbing his hand in the clinch, making sure he couldn't strike, also pushing him up against the cage, and what DC was talking about, having the double underhooks, so DC couldn't really do anything. And kind of keeping range so he couldn't wrestle. Because Daniel Cormier talked about wrestling some more. And Stipe just, that first round, I think he got a takedown, but he got back up. Stipe got back up. And there wasn't any more wrestling after that. And great fight, great game plan, great fight IQ, and such a great fucking champion. I want to say, I may be wrong, but I heard rumors of Stipe supposedly retiring after this fight, possibly. And hopefully not. The dude's... let me look at his record. I think he's only lost to DC, JDS, and Stefan Struve, if I remember correctly. DC, JDS, Stefan Struve, yeah. And did he I know he beat Junior Dos Santos to get that win back, but did he beat Stefan Struve again? No. So, he lost to DC, and then got the win back, and then beat him again. He lost to JDS, and beat him again. So, he's even... with his losses, except for and up on DC, other than Stefan Struve. And outside of that, dude, who's gonna beat him? If he doesn't retire, who's gonna beat him? You're gonna have to get a lucky punch. You're gonna have to do what Ngannou and let Ngannou do what Ngannou does and hit you with a bomb. That's what it's gonna take because, I don't know who's gonna beat him. Even Rozenstruik looked good today against JDS, and I'll talk about that one later. But I don't know who's going to beat Stipe. Granted, it's heavyweight. Anything can happen. So, but it was a great fight. Great trilogy. 2 great guys. Stipe going back home to his daughter and wife, and back to firefighting in Ohio and things like that. So I'm excited to hear what's next for him. If it's I feel like it has to be Ngannou. It has to be I think Ngannou. Has he had 3 or 4 fights since the Stipe fight? Let me look. Francis Ngannou. Okay, so he fought Stipe, lost. Okay, then he fought Derek Lewis. That's right, and that was right after Stipe, because it was right after the Stipe fight. And he was saying it was that Stipe fight affected him. So he lost Derek Lewis. Then he beat Curtis Blades. Then he beat Cain Velasquez. Then he beat JDS. Then he beat Rozenstruik. Round one, round one, round one, round one. This is the problem. Do we know if he's actually going to be better in rounds past round one? Let's look further down his record. Round one, round one, round one. Okay, round two. At the end of round two, okay, against Curtis Blades. Round two. Yeah, so that fight against Stipe, okay, Derek Lewis won all three because it was unanimous loss. But other than that, Derek Lewis fight, he's never went to the third round. From the looks of it, let me look a little further. Yeah, it's not very clear on his very first couple fights. It doesn't say like round 1, 2, or 3. But at least for UFC, a lot of his fights are round 1. So is it going to be different? I don't know. I really don't know. At least Rozenstruik looked like he was able to last a long time against Overeem in a 5-round fight. Like he won literally at the end of the fight. So I feel like, but unfortunately, that's what you got to make. And Ngannou just keeps winning and winning and winning. So you have to give him another shot. So I feel like he's next. And then after that, maybe Rozenstruik. So, but anyways, great main event. Let's move on to the co-main, where we have Marlon Cheeto Vera defeating Sean O'Malley. Round number 1, 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and is declared a KO TKO, elbows from guard. That elbow that Cheeto landed, woo! Dude, I want to say it was his left hand, and I want to say I saw it because he is Sean O'Malley's arm was down a little bit, and Cheeto just came over and bam, and you could see his head hit the mat. And I want to say Dominic Cruz looked like he went out for a second. I want to see another slow-mo. I want to see if his hands dropped because I couldn't tell. It was so fast, but it just looked like it hit him so hard. And with the whole thing with his leg, I want to say it was Sean O'Malley's right leg. They showed how he went to walk and like stumbled. And it was interesting that Joe Rogan mentioned Michael Chandler on the broadcast. He's like, yeah, that reminded me of Michael Chandler. I was like, oh shit, saying those Bellator names. But I know a lot of people talk about Chandler and stuff. I'd like to see Chandler in the UFC, but that's just me. I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking out for my own best interest. I want to just see the best fight the best, you know? And that's what I want. And Chandler is just so good. I just want to see him fight in the UFC. I want to see how he does, you know? But anyways, back to Marlon Vera. Dude, people were counting out Marlon Cheeto Vera. And I wasn't counting him out at all. I was talking to my buddy, and I was like, dude, in my mind, I was like, Marlon Vera has definitely fought way better competition. And I looked at Marlon Vera's record, and I was like, the people he has fought aren't that crazy, like, name-wise. Like, I recognize some of them, of course, but nothing crazy. But then I remembered, at least from Cheeto Vera's record, it's not the competition. Obviously it is the competition, but the way he's been finishing these people and looking like he shouldn't even be in the fights with them, that's how I knew, like, he's getting better. And now, that's one thing I didn't hear about is when did Marlon Vera actually meet up with Jason Perillo? I'd like to know when that started. Like, did that start for the last fight? Did that start for this fight? I don't know, but that's a great move because that coach is such a great coach. Like, what he was able to do for Cyborg, BJ Penn, also obviously Michael Bisping, things like that. And so it's such a great move for Marlon Vera. Dude looks like a beast. He definitely should have a number next to his name if he hasn't already. Let me check UFC.com. Let me check the rankings. Take the rankings as you will. But for Marlon Vera, $135. So featherweights. No, not featherweight. Jesus, bantamweight. Marlon. Nope. So he's not even ranked. He 100% should have a number next. Yeah, Sean O'Malley is 14. Crazy. So he should definitely have a number next to his name. After Monday or Tuesday, whatever day they redo the rankings. Sean O'Malley. I haven't looked to see if he was actually injured or if he just pulled something. Hopefully it's nothing he has to get surgery for and he's out again. Hopefully not, because that would suck. But now he actually took his first loss, so he'll learn from it. He'll come back better. The dude's a beast. I know people say the hype train's been derailed, but he'll get in there, get another crazy knockout or two, and he'll be right back in there. So looking forward to that. Fight before that, we had Jairzinho Rozenstruik defeating Junior Dos Santos. Round number 2, 3 minutes, 47 seconds. They were talking about on the broadcast how they were just being so hesitant. And, dude, yeah, it's fucking heavyweight. Anybody and everybody, I feel like heavyweight, they touch you and you can go out. And if I was fighting heavyweights, I, too, would not be taking chances against these big-ass dudes, you know? And it was understandable. And all it took was Rozenstruik to get that one hit clean. And Junior Dos Santos went down. It said it was a right hook to ground and pound. And, dude, the camaraderie and when Rozenstruik, after the fight, sat down next to JDS and just kind of put his arm over him and stuff, dude, I love that shit. You know, there's many, many, many things and reasons why I love MMA, and that's just one. Being able to be in a fist fight, and then right after the fight, being able to hug the other person, male, female, whatever, and, you know, to share that experience, literally just be punching people and in a fist fight, and your emotions are just all over the place, and be able to stop right after the fight and say, good fight, you know, you're a great person, things like that. Like, I heard, who was it? Was it Dustin Poirier told somebody he loved him after the fight? Was it Justin Gaethje? God, I forget. But it's things like that where it's just like, the sportsmanship after fights, even for the losing fighter, like you'll see some fighters, like especially if they're knocked out, they're kind of like pissed right at the beginning after they you know become conscious again or something, or if it's a flash knockout. But other ones, you know, you'll see them be a little angry, but then when they finally come to, they're like, damn, you know, good shit, good fight. And anyways, yeah, dude, great fight by Rozenstruik. Was his only fight? I think his only loss is the Francis Ngannou, yeah. Yep. So, knocking out JDS. What was JDS ranked? JDS was 5th. Rozenstruik was 6th. You know, Derek Lewis just got a win recently, so maybe Rozenstruik and Derek Lewis, have they fought? No. You can almost do that. Do that while Stipe takes on Ngannou. Curtis Blades said he wants to figure out his issue with gassing out, so yeah, that's the fight to make. So great fight there. JDS, just get back to the drawing board. I honestly wonder how long Junior Dos Santos is going to stick around. My buddy was saying, man, Junior Dos Santos still fighting? I remember him, you know, fighting when I first started watching MMA. I was like, JDS isn't really that old. He just took some crazy beatings, and now the dude looks like, you know, he's got that being in some fucking brawls for a while, you know, look on him. And I looked, JDS only 36. So for heavyweights, that's not that old. So he could keep going if he wants to. Next fight, Daniel Pineda defeats Herbert Burns. This is actually one of the fights I had to miss it. I had to go monkey with the dogs. I come back, the fight was over. Kind of sucks. I saw the finish, which was pretty good. But I missed that fight, so I won't commentate too much about that. And then the last fight on the main card was Merab Dvalishvili. I'm always terrible with that last name. Defeats John Dodson, 3-round unanimous decision. This fight, I don't know, nothing gets Merab and John Dodson. Merab's fights are kind of boring. And I want to say Merab moved up to 135 because he missed weight in his last fight in 125, so he said he moved up, so good on him. I mean, he looked good. But John Dodson's fights, his are action-packed at times, but other times it can be kind of dud. And this fight was kind of not fun to watch. But good fight, Merab. You know, he got his first, I assume his first win in bantamweight. Let's see, has he ever been in? Well, it's hard to check to see if he's ever fought at bantamweight. I'd have to look. Oh, no, he's got a bantamweight fight here. Oh, hold on. I swear he was at flyweight. Yeah, because here was a catchweight in June of this year. Hold up. Bantamweight. Bantamweight. Shit, I am wrong. He's been bantamweight his whole career. Let me look at his first fight. Bantamweight. Yep, he's been bantamweight this whole time. Damn, I am wrong. Okay. So maybe he didn't miss weight. Man, I'd have to go look. It says catch weight at 140, so somebody... Oh, weigh in 139, yep. Must be he... So I thought he said he'd move up. Maybe not. Weird. Anyways, that was that fight. Next, the top of the prelims, we had Vince Pichel defeating Jim Miller, 3-round decision. Dude, I thought Jim Miller looked good that first round with his grappling. Like, I was like, here we go. This is Jim Miller. He's got his grappling down. And but dude, Vince Pichel, like they were talking about in the broadcast, dude, the dude's strong. And once he realized he was able to control Jim Miller on the ground and get that great ground and pound in that second round, he's like, fuck it, I'll just go back to the well again in the third round. And that was the appropriate route to take and won that fight. Great win by Vince. Like, it sucks for Jim. Like, Jim, let's see, let's look at Jim's record. I feel like he's been winning pretty well recently, but damn, look at his record. It's hard to look at sometimes. So he lost to Vince. Before that, he beat Roosevelt Roberts. Before that, lost to Scott Holtzman. Beat Clay Guida, Jason Gonzalez, Charles Oliveira, who's on fire. So, I mean, he can still keep fighting. I mean, the dude is a beast. Jim Miller, you know. It's gonna suck when he hangs it up because I love the guy. He's such a nice dude. But Vince Pichel, great win for him. Next fight, the Vernia Jandiroba, hard to say that name too, defeats Felice Herrig. This is another one I missed. I did see the submission highlight, but so I guess I won't comment on that. I don't know how Felice looked. I'll have to go watch that fight. It looks like it was only 1:44 anyway. Maybe Verna just took her down and threw her in the armbar. I want to say Verna. I want to say she wins with a lot of, yeah, here's one armbar, arm triangle choke, armbar, armbar, armbar. She wins with a lot of armbars, so a lot of submissions. Let's see, of her wins, yeah. So out of her 16 wins, 13 are submission, 1 is decision, or 3 are decision. So take that as you will. So good fight for her. That's a name, you know, Felice Herrig. Next, we had Danny Chavez defeating T.J. Brown. This was a great fight. Dude, Chavez looked like a beast. Like, T.J. Brown was in it for a while, but Chavez looked like a beast. That went all 3 rounds. Next, Olivia Souza defeating Ashley Yoder. Not much to say here. I felt like that was understandable for Souza to win that. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that one. Let's see. Chris Dawkins defeating Parker Porter. That was round 1, 4 minutes and 28 seconds of that. KO, TKO punches, and knee. It was interesting. They were saying Parker Porter actually fought John Jones way back in John Jones' early career, which is pretty crazy. But Chris Dawkins, I guess, is some police officer in Philly. It was weird on the broadcast. They're like, oh, yeah, Chris was saying he uses mixed martial arts to get, what's the word I'm looking for? To let out his frustration, or a good way to, yeah, I guess let out his frustration. There's another term, it's not coming to me, but he uses MMA as that when he's like too pent up after police work. I mean, if that's the case, should we have all our police do that with what's going on in the United States right now? Like, I don't want to get into that crap, but maybe we should have all these police officers just start fighting. Anyways, the very first fight in the card, goddamn, this prelim fight should have been on the main card. Like, John Dodson and Merab should have been further down in the prelims. They should have slapped these. Kamaka III versus Tony Kelly. Goddamn. You want to talk about starting the night off great? I thought with that start, the whole card was going to be crazy. But I'd give the card maybe like a 6 out of 10. I mean, there were some good fights, but it wasn't like blowing me away the whole card, you know? Like some of the fights I'm like, man, it was okay. But dude, that fight was great. Tony Kelly was his movement and everything like that. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing both of them continue fighting. Like Kai Kamaka, I want to say Dominic Cruz was saying they had a lot of Amateur. What are you talking about? Kai Kamaka only had 2 amateur fights before this, or two amateur fights. Tony Kelly had quite a few more. He had 7 fights, and his career started in 2010, whereas Kai Kamaka started in 2012. King of the Cage. Wow. So this was a great fight, dude. Back and forth. It was just offense, offense, offense. Tony Kelly, I want to say he probably took round 1, and then Kai Kamaka took round 2 and 3. And, dude, it was just offense all day. Kamaka was doing, dude, stopping what Kelly was doing from that first round, and then Kamaka just put it on him in that second and third round. Kelly was trying to come back in the third, but I think Kamaka took that third round too, and that was a great fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two again in the UFC. So that's it. That's the whole card. That was a great night of fights. Let's see, what's the next event we have coming up? Next fight is next weekend is a fight night. Edgar versus Munoz. Finally, Frankie Edgar finally having his bantamweight debut, so I'm excited for that. That finally got rescheduled because I know that's been kind of going all over the place. Looking at the card, we got OSP, Shayna Dobson. Who else is sticking out to me? Ooh, Austin Hubbard's on the card. Austin Hubbard's really good. Damn, there's not a lot on here. Jared Gooden? Is that who I think it is? Hold on. I want to say... No, maybe... Nope. This would be his first fight in the UFC. Never mind. Huh. Yeah, not crazy stacked card. But obviously the main event. And then we have OSP, Austin Hubbard. That's about it. That's sticking out to me. Oh, wait! That Maria Agapova? Is that one chick that had a crazy fight? I want to say it is. That'll be a good fight. Who's she fighting? Is she fighting Shayna Dobson? Yes, she is. Damn, that actually would be a good fight. Damn. Okay. I take that back. That's good. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. Hope your family's staying safe. And hopefully I'll do more videos. I don't know. I'm trying to do a lot of things myself. You know, I got a new puppy, so I'm kind of busy with that. I'm trying to do some officiating. I'm like doing like high school officiating for football. I'm just trying to do a lot of stuff. I'm reading a lot. Like I'm working on like habit stuff. I'm doing a lot of stuff on my side, and I'd like to make more videos. But the thing is, my computer's kind of shitty right now. I can't edit video. All I can do is really record it in one go and then upload it. So I'd like to build a new PC and then be able to edit video. That'd be nice, but that's currently not an option. So yeah, I have a lot going on, but I think making the videos right after the event is pretty easy for me. You know, a reaction video because the wife's in bed, the puppy's in his cage to go to bed, and the other dog's upstairs in bed, so it's easy for me because I have time after the fight card. But outside of that, like during the week, it can get kind of tough time wise. But I need to cut out time. I need to work on create some mini projects of quick little videos I can make of things that, like the other series of like previews of cards and things like that. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. And with that, I'll wrap up the video. Thanks again for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know in the comments. Send me emails, blah, 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 blah. And without, I guess, all that, I think that's it. So remember, be nice to people, and have a good night. Thanks.